This is your brain. Here is your spinal cord. And here are your peripheral nerves. Now here is what a television antenna looks like, as commonly seen on rooftops. Notice how they look alike? They have a similar structure because they perform a similar function. That is, they are both receivers of information. In the case of the television antenna, it receives wavelengths which carry all of the information that makes it possible for you to watch your favorite movies, sport, the news, or the weather. Your brain and your nervous system, however, are much more finely tuned and are capable of receiving so much more information than we ever imagined. Recent discoveries show that the brain has no limit to the amount of information that it can receive. The brain and nervous system do not produce information, but rather they receive, process, and store incoming signals from the environment. As a leading researcher in consciousness studies, Professor Stanislav Grof says, there is zero scientific evidence that the brain produces conscious experience. Or, as Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The universe is made of information which is freely available all of the time. At any one time, some of this information is capable of being received, and at specific times, all of it is. Your brain contains trillions of electrochemical channels known as neural pathways. These pathways form connections between the different regions within the brain. One such set of neural pathways, which has been mapped by brain scanning, is known as the default mode network, or DMN. The DMN consists of connections between the prefrontal cortex, the angular gyrus, and the posterior cingulate. Its primary function is that it contains the autobiographical data about ourselves. Autobiographical, meaning our self-life story. Another name for this might be our identity, or ego. It is who we think we are, our thoughts and memories. The DMN, containing our identity, acts as a filter or a reduction valve. It limits the amount of information we can receive at any given time to that which is manageable. Otherwise, we would be overwhelmed by the infinite information, preventing us from being able to drive a car, surf the web, or walk the dog. My identity, Pete, sees the world through the filter of Pete, which includes my personal history, my beliefs, memories, biases, etc. You see the world through the filter of your own identity. Now comes an unexpected and unforeseeable twist to the story. If we introduce a compound known as 5-MeO-DMT into our bodies, then this molecule will cross the blood-brain barrier, where it will connect to a receptor site within the neural pathways, like a key fitting into a lock. Here, it will effectively act like flicking an electrical switch, and the DMN will be taken offline. That is, the filter of self or ego will be momentarily deactivated. When this happens, the brain loses its ability to screen information out. Why would we want to do that? Well, what happens next is remarkable and profound. Our nervous system is now flooded with the entirety of the total sum of all information in the universe. With the DMN offline, a gateway opens and the universal consciousness merges with the individual's consciousness, precipitating an experience of unity consciousness, or being one with everything. Because 5-MeO-DMT has a short half-life, it is rapidly metabolized, making the duration of the whole experience as brief as 10 to 12 minutes. The DMN then comes back online, and the consciousness returns to abide in the awareness of the self. This experience can result in a profound shift to occur in your worldview, giving access to a vast store of information about the very nature of existence, the self, and the universe. So improbable is this phenomena that when documenting his own personal experience with 5-MeO-DMT, Professor Stanislav Grof gave his book the title, When the Impossible